we we do build applications, but it's really hard to kind of explain what we do because it could be more or less anything. So welcome back this week, and now today we want to talk more about what is a business application.
What's a business application?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's because it can be so many things, right?
I think that generally there's people have one type of application in mind when you talk about business application, because as you said, it could be anything. Anything that you use in businesses would be business application. But then, is Word a business application? Nah, not really. Is Excel a business application? Well, maybe the things that you do in Excel can be business applications, but not Excel
In
as
itself.
such.
Okay.
Then it's rather a development tool. So, what is it?
Yeah. Now I remember where I got the question.
Mm,
I actually have this email from Google on business applications. So I've asked them Google to send me emails when there comes a new blog post on business applications, and this time it was something for e-commerce, and my mind went directly back to a system that you've been working on about creating animal food,
mm,
um, and the breadth of those two applications, kind of applications to manage your uh, marketing
yeah,
applications or web shops, and applications to manage a factory. They are both kind of business applications, but they do completely different things. So how would you define a business application? Does it make sense? Or because we we do build applications, but it's really hard to kind of explain what we do because it could be more or less anything.
yes. In the case of the MES system, I think it's called Manufacturing Execution System
Yeah.
for fish fodder. Uh, that would, I think, normally be characterized as a highly technical piece of software,
Yeah.
as opposed to business applications that we talk about, which is not technical software, but more of sort of administrative nature. I would say that a very simple explanation to a business application is that you have a screen into which you can put data or retrieve data,
Yeah.
and print out reports probably also is a part of that. And that's pretty much what there is to it. Uh, in reality, they can be very complicated because there can be so many business rules. But it doesn't normally include serial communications between devices or stuff like that. I mean, and you
Okay.
probably also wouldn't have sprites jumping around on the screen, doing funny things on a business application. Uh, that would be fun, wouldn't it? With a Pac-Man, showing up now and then in people's program.
No, no, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not a game at least. So
Yeah,
even though you can incorporate gamification elements in your business application,
yeah,
um, and I've seen some of those and built some of those where you kind of have a score for the salespeople when they sell the most. And in the application, you can see some stats over who sold the most this week or something like that. So you can
hmm,
compare with other sales staff. And but yeah, you're right. A business application is probably more a software package doing things on the computer where you enter a human enter data and read data. Apart from the more factory oriented application that manages machines or make sure that the tools are working properly and the right amount of ingredients are put into the feed.
Yeah. Um, and of course, I mean, it depends on what kind of business you are. Some businesses, like uh, shops, web shops, stuff like that,
Yeah.
they were depending on sort of business-like applications. If you're a manufacturer or something, you would need other kinds of software as well. And there's a lot of tools out there for that kind of application. Like there's one from Apple called FileMaker, for instance, which is a rapid application development tools for that kind of application.
It corresponds a bit to Access from Microsoft, right?
Yes, that's what you like Access, yes.
Yeah.
And I think there's a huge need for that kind of application. So that's why these RAD tool has developed or popped up and disappeared again over the years.
Yeah.
I think if you're making a really, really hardcore technical application, you will probably still use C, because one of the things that it differentiates is about how near to the hardware are you actually. And with business application, you want to be near a database.
Yeah, you don't care about the hardware. It's more
No.
like a database. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you talk about web shops, for instance,
Yeah.
there are a lot of branding tools that go with that, kind of managing your social media feed for marketing, placing ads for your products, managing when someone clicks on your product, then you got the Facebook pixel that picks up that you have been here, and then you can retarget them, and you have applications that manage that. But that's all kind of software and integrations with different marketing platforms and stuff like that. So what would you say are our strength in the application world? If we're gonna kind of narrow it down and say, okay, we can do a lot of things, but where are our expertise in application development?
Well, I think one of the, strong points is that, how can I say this? The abstraction level is very high. So you are focusing on what is the application supposed to do, not on how on earth are you going to make it to do this, because that's more or less self-given. I mean, one of the things that I've been working with these kind of applications for the better part of 30 years now.
Yeah.
And one thing that I have never been worrying about is how to get stuff into a database.
Yeah.
I got people to do that for me, you see. And why should I worry about that?
No.
It doesn't add anything to the program, to the application.
Or to the user experience, or
No, it's just something that has to be there.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I can think of being of importance is that if I could say, I can do this, but then again, who cares?
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the very strong parts is that in that way you can focus on the functionality of the program and not the technical aspect on how the hell you program it.
Yeah, and I would also say that if there is a tool out there like a web shop or a social media manager or a barber shop booking system, that is not the kind of applications that we focus on. It's more where you've built the Excel application, or you managed to get the data into Excel, but now you're kind of grown out of Excel, and perhaps trying to do something in XS, but it's slow and tedious. Then there is the place where we step in and are able to build an application that can do some more.
But you do know that XS self-destructs on regular intervals, don't you?
Oh yeah, I know. That's one of the reasons we started a project with another customer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there were more issues to that one.
Yeah.
There was some Citrix involved as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well. Yes.
Yeah, but I think that
Okay.
makes it for this episode as well. So,
Okay.
what do you say? Is that?
I say thank you for now.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.